Welcome back. Cholesterol. Cholesterol is also a key determinant of membrane fluidity. At high temperature, cholesterol acts to stabilize the cell membrane and increase its melting point, while at low temperature, it inserts into the phospholipids and prevents them from interfering with each other to avoid aggregations. Function of the cell membrane. The passive transport. Water through cell membrane. Water can pass through cell membrane. The process is called osmosis. Osmosis is the net movement of water across cell membrane. Water will tend to move from an area of high concentration to the lower concentration. Osmosis helps to keep the internal and external environment in equilibrium because having either too much or too little water in cell can cause damage. The body helps to regulate water level in the blood through a process called osmoregulation. Very small molecules or highly lipid soluble substances can easily move across the cell membrane through simple diffusion. It's the selective process in which the cell membrane allows selective molecules to pass through it. Gases like carbon dioxide and oxygen can move across the cell membrane through simple diffusion. Simple diffusion is the movement of gas molecules from a region of high concentration to the region of lower concentration through a semi-permeable membrane. That's why oxygen can diffuse through the cell membrane and is transported in the blood plasma by the simple diffusion. Oxygen can be transported through the cell membrane by convection process. However, prevents the unwanted molecules from passing through it. Water, oxygen, carbon dioxide, ethanol, urea, and dioxins, they can pass directly through the cell membrane without any noise along the concentration gradient. Facilitated diffusion. Facilitated diffusion is the passive movement of molecules along the concentration gradient. It's a selective process. That means the membrane allows only selective molecules and ions to pass through it. It, however, prevents other molecules from passing through the cell membrane. Facilitated diffusion is the transport of substances across a biological membrane from an area of the high concentration to an area of the lower concentration with the help of a transport molecule. No requirement of the chemical energy as the substances move along the concentration gradient. Sodium-potassium ADPases. Every cell membrane is rich in a special type of transport protein is called sodium-potassium ADPases. These are special type of carrier proteins. They are having special pockets for the transportation of potassium and sodium. These pockets are also called domains. 2 pockets for potassium and 3 pockets for sodium. The domains love to bind with sodium and potassium. Sodium-potassium pump. It is also called sodium-potassium ADPase. It's a special type of integral protein universally present in cell membrane. It's also called an enzyme, cause it backup ADPs like enzyme. It utilizes a large portion of ADPs, cause it present in every type of cell membrane. It uses ATP directly at the transport site. When it loaded with potassium and sodium, it opens a special pocket to fit with ADPs. Then sodium-potassium pump flip. When it flip, the transportation of sodium and potassium occur. The energy utilized directly at the transport mechanism is called primary active transport. Another example for the calcium transporter called calcium ADPases present at the ectoplasmic reticulum. Sodium glucose cotransporter. This is sodium glucose transporter. It also called SAM porter. Active transport involves in the movement of molecules from lower concentration to the high concentration with use of energy. Secondary active transport. Secondary active transport is the transport of solute in the direction of its increasing electrochemical potential coupled to the facilitated diffusion of a second solute in the direction of its decreasing electrochemical potential. If the sodium and glucose are available, the process will go on continuously.